Okay, great, thank you. Good morning today, Friday, March 15th, 2024. We're resuming our work at Senate Natural Resources and Energy Committee. Bill S305. We just finished a round of edits, so now we're going to walk through prior to, I believe, amending and then voting Bill out. So, Council, if you could take us through the edits since our last draft.
Sure, Ellen Tchaikovsky, Office of Legislative Counsel. We're looking at draft 3.1 dated today's date. The changes are highlighted in yellow. So the first change, the first change, I spelled out emo on page 1 because I'm feeling on the floor, no one's gonna know what that means. So that was just for me. Fair good change. I added it, I fixed it. So on page 2, highlighted in yellow, so subsection B has been rewritten. So notwithstanding any other provision of law or order of the PUC to the contrary, an entity appointed under 30 VSA 292A may spend a portion of its electric resource acquisition budget in an amount not to exceed $2 million per year on programs, measures, and services that reduce greenhouse gas emissions in the thermal, energy, and transportation sectors. An entity spending a portion of its electric resource acquisition budget as outlined in this section shall submit notice of the amount of the annual electric resource acquisition budget to be spent pursuant to this subsection to the PUC, the Department of Public Service, the electric distribution utilities, and the Vermont Public Power Supply Authority, with a sworn statement attesting that the programs, measures, or services comply with the following criteria.
Great. Any questions on them? That's good.
Okay. The next change is on page 7. This is in regards to the default delivery agent hiring. The commission shall approve the first 3-year plan and associated budget by no later than September 1, 2025.
90.
And then finally on page 10, this act will take effect on passage.
Okay, dotting i's, crossing t's. Looks good. Anyone see anything amiss?
Yes,
Senator McDowell?
the funding source.
Funding source, okay, so noted. Any edits to the text? Okay, so welcome a motion to amend 305 as specified in draft 3.1 dated 3/15/24, timestamp 9:20 AM.
Move that we adopt. Is this a motion to amend or is this?
First, yeah,
We gotta amend, right, so I move that we amend 305 with the version 3.1 edits.
okay, any committee discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And now a motion to vote for the next vote.
I move that we approve
Report favorably.
report favorably, there you go. The draft as amended.
Okay. Any committee discussion? All right, the clerk will call the roll, please.
McDonald,
No,
McCormick,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
White, yes. Chair Brandt.
Yes. And I'd be happy to, having lived in these weeds for a while.
And Senator Brandt.
Familiar term.
Familiar garden,
Yes.
yeah, I can say.
June, I sent you the clean copies.
I have a comment.
Great, so we have a pen copy.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Whoever's over so funky.
I do have a question on do we put the original 306 and 305 together, or just send those?
Now, so 306 officially just stayed here,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
but we know it lives on
It lives on, so we're going yes.
in. Great, so because there may be other folks interested in S-253, our other bill, the finalized goes today, because it's not scheduled for 10:15, so I'm a little reluctant to jump. Let's think. We're all together, how about this? Yeah, sure.
I know at one point we had talked, so the judiciary has the super fund
Yes,
bill.
Yeah.
And I know at one point we had talked about us having passed through that bill. It seems as we will not be doing that, is that correct?
that is correct. I didn't think we were gonna have time to look, and I certainly didn't want us to have it referred and then put across over at writ. However, I think we should understand the metrics they adopt. So I wanted to get further, before it's on the floor. But basically ASAP to have us get a walkthrough of how the allegation. And its relationship to greenhouse gas emissions, like, so we know the mechanics of it, not worry about the legal construct, but the mechanics of. Greenhouse gas emission evaluation.
So we won't have possession of the bill, it'll go to the floor, but we will have a conversation about it.
Yes, and so also we, Senator Sears offered referred here, and I said. We have such a packed schedule this week, please, thank you for the offer. Like to decline the offer, we'd like to learn more about it, but not formally take the best of it.
Thank you.
Okay. No, awesome.
Thank you, that was my one housekeeping.
We'll have, actually, I think, try to pick that up at the very beginning of next week. And talking about next week, so up there on the big board, 311 and 308. The House, just there for air traffic control purposes, the jumbo jet that we knew was headed our way, will be landing here at some point. Is it 687?
Yes, I mean, listen, they only voted it out. Let's see what happens.
Right, so it has a little, it has some, the flight's not over, but it's, at least it's left at the airport.
Yeah.
So that'll be coming anyway. We become the Housing and Act 250 committee, full court press starting next Tuesday. Mr. Chakowski's scheduled in with us for 2 days solid. So Senator McDonald and Senator McCormick. You in particular, I was in and out of finance while it was happening. We had an introduction to 311, so we'll look at the whole thing. So we have the big picture, and then we'll really drill down on Act 215 planning as it relates to what's in this committee's jurisdiction. I figure we'll, for the most part, be steering, we'll want to understand, but we're not gonna get involved in tax policy. That finance can do that, and we're not getting involved in housing incentive programs. Yeah, so, but we will be in good shape. So that when that bill does arrive, there'll be, I think even before that bill arrives, once we finish doing our own homework on 311, 308, even if we don't have 687 yet, I get a copy of it and start looking at that as well. The goal is that 2 weeks from this today, that we'll have a good idea of what how we're reconciling our work on 308 and 311. That will put us in a good spot for when 687 comes in. And after that, we can start looking at 687 even before it arrives. So the whole idea is timely action. I think, like to see, the pro tem would like to see something moving basically ASAP.
Yep.
The shared priority. Always has been a shared priority with this committee, but we have more than one task to take care of. So with that, just so that we don't leave people out on the 253 discussion, I don't think we should take it up till when the time has come, it's like going to the train station, you're on time and the train went early. That's always frustrating. Yes, ma'am,
And somehow you knew I had another question.
I can tell.
I have gotten multiple emails with questions about the thermal and geothermal bill.
Yeah.
And I have felt comfort from conversations we've had about that bill and kind of where it would land. But I'm wondering if there are people watching, so I can refer back to it.
Sure.
What is our plan? We have not forgotten about this.
Not at all. So, if people, for instance, Mr. Dumont back in Bristol, who's been spearheading, working with people and drafting suggested language, has continued to work on it. We will take, I think it's 252, is that number? Yeah, thermal, so we have that bill and, because it's a good fit on energy policy and we're gonna have a very big energy policy bill, the RES bill. We'll knit it together into the RES. And there may be other things, I don't know if other things will emerge, but that is a major piece of work that I've always anticipated we put in.
So it's not that it's missed the crossover deadline,
Not at all.
it's dead.
I mean, in January, I knew that we had so much to do that if there was a vehicle for 252, let's hold it for a House bill rather than give up something else prior to crossover. Thank you, Kate. No, I think, Carmen, oh, good. Chair McDonald? Embezzlement?
Garbage. Demand my lawyer.
No,
Okay.
If council president. Okay. All right, so then, if you want to give yourself a head start, we have a clean copy. Also, thanks to council of S two.
No, that's highlight.
Of the S 253, the housing bill, people want to look through it, but we won't. Why don't we say that we are on break till 10:15?
Not the clean copies here for when you.
Okay.
That was the latest from,
So with that, let's go adjourn for 20 minutes till we take up 253 original officially. If people want to jump in, you can see the edits since our last.